Ready? It is 7 p.m. and I'd like to call the regular council meeting November 10th to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of the President of the Council, Terry Reeves, is there any objection to the former President, Steve Horniak, taking the chair? Hearing none, Mr. Horniak, the chair is yours.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. We are called to order, so Ms. Snyder, would you please take a roll call of council?
Mrs. Ackerman? Here. Mr. Drake?
Here.
Mr. Horniak?
Here.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Here.
Mr. Reeves? Mr. Solander?
Here.
Mr. Wallensack?
Here. Thank you. Please note that 6 members of council are here. Council, Mr. Reeves did reach out through the administration, letting us know he would not be here this week. I'd seek a motion to excuse his absence.
So move.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Second by Mr. Wallensack. Are there any objections? Hearing none, Mr. Reeves is excused from the meeting. Also present at tonight's meeting is Mayor Michael Safarian, City Administrator Joel Mazer, Clerk of Council Josette Snyder, Law Director Melissa Propora, Acting Public Service Director Rodney Schultz, Police Chief Brandon Began, Assistant Police Chief Ryan Spangler, Fire Chief Clayton O'Brien, Assistant Fire Chief Mark Mullins, and Finance Director Nick Roman. Folks, we'll move into our agenda for this evening. The first item, I'm sorry I missed, is to approve the minutes of the October 27th, 2025 regular council meeting. Council.
Mr. President,
Mr. Slander.
make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by Mr. Drake. Motion by Mr. Slander, seconded by Mr. Drake to approve the minutes of the October 27, 2025 meeting. Council, is there any objections? Hearing none, the minutes are accepted as presented. Moving into our agenda, the first thing we'll start with is persons and delegations. And the first person we have is Connie Trudell. Connie, if you come forward, just state your name and your address for the record, please.
Connie Trudell, 5046 Dove Road. At our last council meeting, I posed a couple questions, but time did not permit them to be fully addressed. I want to revisit these questions tonight. The first question I asked was if any of you public officials have ever toured a data center. I recall Mr. Mazer and Mr. Paul Roman stating that they have. Is there anyone else who's ever toured a data center? Mr. Drake as well. Mr. Horniak stated that he would like to tour a data center, but security issues have prevented him from doing so. Please help us to understand how some of you have been able to obtain security clearance to tour a data center and other public officials have not.
I can address that if I can, and I'll speak on behalf of council, anybody who has a different experience than mine. I was able to go to data centers, 2 of them from the outside, but getting in them is a little tougher for tours. Has anybody else been able to get an interior tour of a data center? Not yet. Okay, Mr. Mazer, you have.
Yes,
Just to follow up to that, because that was one of the points I made during that meeting, is we should probably be working on trying to secure the ability to do so.
Mr. President, if I may, so I did tour one. It was with the West Licking Fire District in Licking County, Ohio, with the fire personnel. So just to get a feel for what it's like on the inside of one of the facilities. They are very secure facilities. It's something that we had to coordinate and schedule through with the fire department. So,
Okay. So I'm still having difficulty understanding why you, Mr. Mazer, were able to obtain security clearance and others who may wish to have not been able to do so.
Mr. President and Ms. Trudell, so that was actually our Fire Chief Clayton O'Brien did coordinate that meeting, and from what my understanding is that there is another tour that is scheduled for sometime in December. I don't know what the status of that is as of right now, as the fire chief was coordinating that, so.
Thank you, Mr. Mazur. Mr. Bryan, anything to add, Chief?
Yeah, Mr. President. So I do have some colleagues that work down at West Licking Fire District. They do have a bunch of data centers down there. I did reach out to them. That's how we were able to coordinate the meeting to get our fire prevention team down there to take a look at what was, a data center all about. I recently have reached out to them again to ask for another meeting. That way we could kind of coordinate some after Mr. Horniak had announced last time that he would like to see a data center. Reach back out to see if we could facilitate another meeting in early December. I'm waiting to hear back from them. It does take a few weeks as they work with, the data center that we went and toured was a Meta data center. So they have to go back through some, the person that does the tours, just making sure schedules and things work. So we are working on that, and I'm hoping to be able to take, different council members and our new mayor down to visit that.
So, Mr. Mazur, you said that you toured the inside of the data center, not just the exterior. Are you able to describe what you observed in the tour?
Go ahead, Mr. Mazur.
Mr. President and Ms. Trudell, yes. For the most part, it's, there were more workers there than what I had thought, but it was, a parking lot, as you see from the outside, with the two large buildings with a connector in the middle. Surprisingly, the majority of the building was what seemed to be like HVAC systems, but there are like server rooms. It's hard to describe in words. Server rooms with server racks in them, and a lot of air cooling inside of the buildings with fans and, like I said, HVAC systems. So there really wasn't a whole lot to them other than it was a lot of computer equipment with a lot of HVAC systems. Very, very big rooms, very, very cavernous, as you can see from the outside in some of these buildings.
Okay.
You can see from the size of them.
Okay.
Yep.
And my last question is, why was a tour of a data center not a prerequisite for all public officials prior to votes being cast to develop a data center in our community?
I can only answer for myself on that, but, typically as we're looking through projects, we would probably get to that point once the project was closer to at hand and we were ready to act or look at those. I think we're gonna go past because we spoke probably as much as you spoke. So I just haven't done that yet. That's why I talked about it at one of the previous meetings about trying to set up such a field trip, if you will, where we could go and actually tour one of those, ask some questions, get around. Individually, if I pick up the phone and call somebody who's running a data center and said, I'd like to come inside your place, even though I can say I'm a council member from Oregon, Ohio, that's not going to carry much weight. But if we administratively as a city are trying to reach out saying we want to learn more about these, it gives an opportunity for better success for being able to achieve that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Trudell. Next, we have Paul Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs? Paul J. Gibbs. All right. Oh. All right. We'll just have your name and address for the record, please.
Paul J. Gibbs, 3145 Dogwood Drive, Oregon, Ohio, 43616. I'm going to change lanes here. I'm not going to talk about data centers. I'm just going to read something I put together here. And it's, I hope it won't create any controversy, but I want to thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the good people that came out to vote on Election Day. It was a larger turnout than what was anticipated. A good friend of mine always likes to zoom in on a word from the Bible to focus on. The word that he shared with others and myself recently is compelled. In a biblical context, we are to be compelled to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with a lost and dying world. Last spring, I felt compelled to run for Oregon City Council. I stand before you humbly thankful that many cast their vote in my favor. Today I stand before you feeling compelled, asking your consideration in a very important matter for our community. In years past, I have come out to our municipal building during the holiday season and admired all the beautiful decorations. As I walked around, I noticed there was nothing to represent our Lord Jesus, the real reason for the season. Over the last few months, I have had the privilege of meeting many people that are Christ-centered and faith-based. There is a proposal that I would like to present to the good people of Oregon, and that would be to include a manger at our municipal building location, as well as one at the Navarre and Wheeling location where we usually decorate a Christmas tree. Now, I know this proposal might face opposition due to budget considerations. However, I believe that we have enough people in our community that would gladly donate to cover the expense of this endeavor. And for those that would say we don't have the time or resources to do this, I would remind them of our state motto, taken from the book of Matthew, 19:26, with God, all things are possible. So this is a proposal to you, and I would like your consideration in the matter. It doesn't have to be answered today, but it's something that I think as a community we can look into. There are other communities that celebrate Christmas, and they have mangers, and they bring Jesus right into it. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs. Appreciate that. Certainly we'll take that under advisement. The administration, I see, is making notes, Mr. Mazur. So as they proceed that, we'll keep reviewing that request. Next, we have Mark Klatt. No worries. Take your time.
What I'm talking about, like I was talking the last time I was out here, that's in October, I'm from, I live in Kingston Court on Navarre Avenue. And there's only one way in and only one way out. Well, the problem is people don't follow the rules. They are cutting in to go into on the east side of the bank and everything, like there's some kind of advantage by going in that way. And the problem is they have a light about 100 yards further down that they can go to, but they don't want to for some reason. What I would like I discussed with the last guy that was in here, that we could put in temporary barriers in those two places that would stop a lot of the car accidents and such as that. You know, here in a couple months, at least, you know, by December, we're going to have more than just an inch or two of snow. We're going to have about a foot. And that makes it that much worse. So if it's possible, figure out how to get a temporary block, you know, because I'm even in Carpenter, I built a lot of bridges, and I know it's very easy to put up barriers if they go there. And that would stop a lot of the accidents. And, you know, with all that snow that's going to be coming, somebody's going to die or more. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Klatt. I know previous when you were here, Mr. Mazur, you had any follow-up on that? I know Mr. Roman was taking some notes at that
Rodney
time.
Schultz.
Is Rodney available to answer that? Okay. I didn't want to put you on the spot. Mr. Schultz?
Yes, Mr. President. I did look at it a little bit, and I know I reached out to the police department just to get a better understanding of what the issue is. Obviously, come next summer, there's going to be a traffic signal there, so that'll resolve all of your concerns. With what you're saying, are you requesting a barrier that would prevent lefts from into either driveway?
No, the side, it's on the south side of the bar.
Right.
There's a Citizens Bank.
Yes.
And there's a renter center there. And people are going in and out of those and causing all kinds of havoc.
Correct.
And it's mainly during the rush hours in the morning and in the afternoon.
But if we put up a barrier that, you know, I looked at it, there's really not a way to put a barrier up to prevent the lefts into that business and allow lefts into the Kingston Court. So if you put a barrier up, it would block lefts into either either location.
A temporary barrier is what
No, I understand that, but I'm saying if you do that, you're not gonna get a left into either one. They're gonna be right in, right out at both of those driveways. Because they overlap, that's why the problem exists.
What do you suggest we do?
I mean, it's either we put the barrier up or we just kind of wait until.
Yeah, just take our chances, huh?
But that's why we are doing the safety project. I mean, that's the whole point of the safety project, is to eliminate the left turns and have the signalized intersections that control them. So,
I have people getting mad at me because I go and do the right thing to pull into Kingston Court, and then they have another person going in front of me, coming the other direction, and they want to turn into there.
right,
Very, very unsafe.
right. But what I'm saying is if you just put up the one side, they're still gonna, they're still gonna slip in.
There's two different, well, you could, I understand that. I live
Right,
there.
right,
I
right.
see that there are two different entrances, same scenario. Put up temporary, signage or something, up there to not allow people to go in there. Because someone's gonna, I don't want to have on anybody's shoulders that they could have did something and somebody gets killed and they didn't do anything.
Well, we'll take a look at it and see if there's something that can be done, so.
Mr. Klatt, if I could, and thank you, Mr. Schultz. Where you're talking about is on the south side of Navarre Avenue, as you're facing the strip mall to the south, the two drives that are to the left, basically behind where the building's at and the one that's between the north and south strip plaza and the bank. Where that turns in, because that creates that problem where you get two people that want to turn left into the center lane, or they're using that as a cut through. Okay, just wanted to make sure I kind of understood what we were talking about.
It's just temporary that I'm asking for. I know that the thing that they were gonna do with Navarre Avenue has got pushed back to next spring. And I understand that also because that's what I did for a living.
Okay.
And so we can do it, just temporary.
Oh.
So that we start next spring, where it ain't such a problem.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Klatt. Certainly, Mr. Schultz will take it back and look at that. Mr. Mazur, please.
Mr. Klatt, if you could stay afterwards, and maybe you can kind of show us on a map. I have it up on the screen, and we can kind of talk through it. So I'm having a hard time grasping when we're talking about different directions, but we don't have a map up on the screen so we can see exactly visually what you're talking about. If you don't mind staying afterwards.
Very good. Thank you, Mr.
Thanks.
Klatt.
Yep.
Moving forward, the next person we have is Debbie Wolf. And again, name and address for the record, if you would, please.
My name's Debbie Wolf, 4255 Townhouse Drive. First of all, I'd like to congratulate our new mayor-elect, Steve Salander. Congratulations to Mr. Paul Drake as well. And our new elect council member, Paul J. Gibbs. I stand here before you today because I am totally against the, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Wallensack, you were reelected as well. Congratulations. I'm so sorry. I was addressing the newbies, so, okay. I stand here before you to let you know that I am dead set against having a data center built here in Oregon. I think there's so many things that truly haven't been considered. I don't like it when money is the focus of everything and that everyone thinks we're going to have these millions of dollars spread into our community. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's going to bring jobs in other than to build the massive center, and those people probably won't be local union members building it if it does come to Oregon. I'm under the understanding that the largest data center right now is in Carlisle, Indiana, and that its power source is being used from our city of Oregon. Is that correct? So, so right there, you know, our electric bills are going to be going up. And if we add a data center in our community, I can only imagine what it's going to do to the electrical grid. I really don't think, I think other businesses should be considered and given definitely second, third looks at versus the data center. I just think the data center should really be reconsidered. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf. And last we have on the list, Amy Mottmiller. Ms. Mottmiller, again, name and address for the record.
Amy Mottmiller, 5040 Corduroy Road. Good evening. As the people have now been heard, and it's clear, a data center is not what we want. I truly hope that our new council and administration will take into consideration the voices of the citizens who live, work, and raise families here. We still have questions. We still do not want this project in our backyard. The threat to our wildlife and our neighbors is real. The possibility that this facility is built only for technology to outgrow its purpose while our local resources remain strained and jeopardized is very real. As we approach Town Hall, I want to ask, will the citizens be able to ask real questions, or will this be a one-way presentation, a take it or leave it show? Our community deserves better than a scripted answers and sales pitches. Our community is valuable, the citizens are valuable, and our livability is valuable. We are not against progress. But we will not sacrifice our quality of life for a corporation that gives little in return. I urge our new council and administration to do your own research. Do not rely on glossy presentations or promises of jobs and abatement revenue. Look closely at the negatives, not just the dollar signs, because once our air, our water, and our wildlife are compromised, there is no amount of money that can put them back. Please understand, this fight does not end at the election. We will continue to stand together until there is no data center threatening our community. Our voices, our matters, and our safety matters. And at last council meeting, there was a statement made that there was no DNA, so I'd like to ask who the end user is.
Oh, no NDA, no non-disclosure.
Yes, so then I'd like, if there's no non-disclosure, then who's the end user?
I don't know that I can answer.
Mr. President?
Mr. Mazur.
We don't know.
Okay,
There's been no, any information given to us on who the end user is.
okay,
Not spoken, or at least as far as I know, to any city official.
okay. And then this question that I had asked early on, what type of presentation will the town hall be?
Mr.
Go ahead, Mr.
President
Mazur.
and Ms. Mottmiller, so in talking with the end user, and there is a meeting scheduled tomorrow with them, but they.
End user?
I mean, the developer, the capacity.
Okay,
And they are, we're going to be talking about the format. The IT director and I went to the Facet School to just kind of get the lay of the land. I had never been in their auditorium before. My understanding is that they don't want to give a presentation per se, like you'd normally see a PowerPoint presentation and somebody talking a lot. They do want to reach out and have a conversation with people, answer any questions that anybody has. So I encourage everybody to show up and ask every single question that you possibly can think of.
got it.
So that, I mean, in all honesty, in all seriousness, this is, you know, we need to pressure test this and make sure that this is is this a good fit or not? And pressure test it. And that's encouraged to bring everybody that we know to ask the right questions.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mottler. And I had just jotted down and asked Ms. Snyder to just confirm for me. The town hall, just as a reminder and to say it again, is the date is November 19th. 6 PM start, and that's going to be at Bassett Middle School in the auditorium. It's a Wednesday. Thank you. So just a reminder, that is November 19th at 6 PM. And again, the forum is trying to be question and answer, so that it's basically what the community wants to ask, that's what we want to be able to address. Okay? Thank you. Council, moving forward into our agenda, we did not have a committee of the whole last week, so we do need to add items 176 through 179 to tonight's agenda. I'll seek a motion.
Mr. President.
Mr.
Second.
Walenzak, thank you.
Second.
No.
Seconded by Mrs. Pauloff. Council, are there any objections? Hearing none, items 176 through 179 are added to this evening's agenda. Moving into the first item, presented by Mayor Mike Safarian and Acting Public Service Director Rodney Schultz, is item 176. Mr. Schultz.
Yes, Mr. President. This ordinance is needed to enter into an LPA agreement with ODOT to allow us to go out to bids for a safety project on Bay Shore Road. We received grant funding to make improvements to the curve at Otter Creek and Bay Shore where they come together. It's a long sweeping curve. And over the years, we had a reoccurring crash pattern of roadway departure crashes over about a 5-year period. We were averaging about two crashes a year, one of which was a fatal in 2023. We met with our police department. We meet quarterly to review crashes. We discussed this location and came up with looking at making some improvements there. The improvements will include adding flashing chevrons, adding center line and edge rumble strips along the edge, so that way if people leave the traveled lane, hopefully that'll alert them to get back on track, and then also raise pavement markings. We then went and approached ODOT about securing funding through their safety program and kind of worked with them to come up with an application to get funded. We also looked at Cedar Point Road, the relocation of Cedar Point. We had a couple of crashes, not that many. We did some studies on that. And ODOT, we submitted that as well, but ODOT didn't include that in the funding. So we did end up receiving basically a grant for $91,300 for making these improvements along Otter Creek and Bay Shore at the curve. We're planning to do an alternate bid for Cedar Point Road for adding the rumble strips. Depends on how the bids come in. We figure if we have a contractor here doing the other location, we might be able to get some decent numbers. So we can make that decision once we bid that project out. And the reason we kind of need to do this as an emergency, we submitted our PS&E package, basically our final plan package, in early November, and realized with ODOT that we never entered into this agreement, and ODOT needs to submit the final package down to central office in early December. So that's the basis of the project. Anybody have any questions? Be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. Counselor, are there any questions on item 176?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walenzak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Schultz, is there a matching amount that we have to be to get this grant?
Yes, Mr. President. It's a 90-10 grant, but actually part of the project includes basically restriping, because when you do the rumble strips on the center line and edge, you got to restripe anyways. Basically, the cost of the restriping will be our match, which we basically do almost every year anyways. So it basically will come out to not costing us anything.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walenzak. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. Council, any additional questions? Hearing none, I will assign item 176 of 2025 as ordinance 176 of 2025 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for funding from the Federal Highway Administration for the bid and construction of LUC MR 1790.0 Bay Shore Road, PID 123994, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council.
Mr. President.
Mr. Salander.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion for passage of ordinance 176 of 2025 as an emergency measure.
Thank you, Mr. Salander.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Drake. Thank you, Mr. Drake. We have a motion by Mr. Salander, seconded by Mr. Drake for ordinance 176 of 2025. Ms. Snyder, will you please take a roll call vote of council?
Mr. Salander?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mrs. Ackerman? Yay. Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mr. Walenzak?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Ordinance 176 of 2025 does pass with a vote of 6 yeas and 0 nays. Moving on to item 177 of 2025, again presented by the Mayor Safarian and Acting Public Service Director Rodney Schultz. Mr. Schultz.
Yes, Mr. President. This ordinance is needed to issue a purchase order to Industrial Power Services Systems for a new boiler for the police area. That area currently has 2 Cleaver Brooks models that were installed in 2006 that we've been having problems with them. One, getting parts. Basically, they're kind of costly and difficult to get. Only one of them is currently working. We've been kind of salvaging parts off of the one that isn't working to keep the other one running. So we went out and got quotes for getting a brand-new boiler. It's an 850,000 BTU high-efficiency Lochinvar boiler. It'll replace both of these boilers. It will be sized also if we want to do, currently we have heating of the sidewalk when you come in the employee entrance at the police department. The boiler will be able to handle that, and also if we ever wanted to do anything further, like in front of the city complex, if we ever replace those sidewalks in the future, this boiler could handle that as well. We did get 3 quotes, and Industrial Power Services was the lowest and best. Reason we kind of need to move this ordinance is to secure the materials. We've had the bids and proposals. As we all know, they only hold their prices for so long, so trying to get these materials secured and get the boiler installed before we get into the heart of the extreme cold weather. So happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. Council. Mr. Schultz, I have one question on item 177, and probably a little unfair because I'm going to put you on the spot for something you have no way of knowing. With this new boiler, if there is renovation or update that is done to the police station, is this the unit that would handle that? And is it appropriate for future needs?
Mr. President, so actually this boiler is really a supplemental boiler. I forgot to mention that. We have a geothermal system down there, so that's mainly the main heat.
Yeah.
This system kind of kicks in when we get the really extreme temperatures, negatives. I believe it should be able to service it. Keith's actually sitting out in the audience there. He might be able to answer it a little bit better, but.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you both. Council, any additional questions on item 177? Hearing none, I will assign item 177 of 2025 as ordinance 177 of 2025 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor and finance director to issue a purchase order to Industrial Power Systems, 146 Dixie Highway, Rossford, Ohio, for the purchase and installation of an 850,000 BTU high-efficiency boiler at the municipal complex in order to replace the police building boiler in an amount not to exceed $42,465 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 177 of 2025 as an emergency measure.
Thank you, Mr. Wallenczak.
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Pauloff. Thank you, Mrs. Pauloff. We have a motion by Mr. Wallenczak, seconded by Mrs. Pauloff for ordinance 177 of 2025. Ms. Snyder, will you please take a roll call vote of council?
Mr. Wallenczak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mr. Solander?
Yay.
Thank you, council. Ordinance 177 does pass with a vote of 6 yeas and 0 nays. Moving to our next item, which is item 178, presented by Mayor Safarian and Police Chief Brandon Began. Chief Began.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is necessary to enter into an agreement with the Federal Bureau of Investigations for one of our officers to participate in the Northwest Ohio Safe Streets Task Force. This task force targets violent fugitives and drug trafficking and many other different types of high-priority crime. We do have one officer who currently works part-time for the unit, and he'll be retiring at the beginning of the year. So we're in the transition right now to move over another officer into that. There were some changes in leadership for the field office for the FBI, so they asked us to re-sign this agreement with the new supervisor agent. And in the packet that was sent out on Friday, we have the first 2 pages with Special Agent David Banach, who is the supervisor, and in the additional paperwork that was sent out today by Ms. Snyder, the rest of the MOU and the initial terms when Supervisor Phil Diebel was in there was attached. So we're bringing this forward because they asked us with the change in supervision down there to re-enter into the agreement that we have already been entered into last year. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Very good, thank you, Chief. Council, any questions on item 178? Hearing none, I will assign item 178 of 2025 as ordinance 178 of 2025 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor to permit the chief of police to enter into an agreement between the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and the Oregon Police Department to participate in the Northwest Ohio Safe Streets Task Force and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council.
Mr. President,
Ms. Pauloff.
I move for passage of ordinance 178 of 2025 as an emergency measure.
Thank you, Ms. Pauloff.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Slander. Thank you, Mr. Slander. We have a motion by Mrs. Pauloff, seconded by Mr. Slander for ordinance 178 of 2025. Ms. Snyder, will you please take a roll call vote of council?
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mr. Solander?
Yay.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mr. Wallensack?
Yes.
Thank you, council. Ordinance 178 of 2025 does pass with a vote of 6 yeas and 0 nays. Last item on our agenda for the evening is item 179, and this is presented again by Mayor Mike Safarian and Finance Director Nick Roman. Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is needed to renew our agreement with the Jefferson Health Plan to provide medical and prescription insurance for municipal employees. So this is from January 1st to December 31st. There was an increase of 12.17%. That is slightly higher than the average, from my understanding, around the country on health insurance. And it is almost strictly due to our claim costs over the last couple of years. If there's more questions on it, please let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Roman. Council, any questions on item 179? Hearing none, I will assign item 179 of 2025 as ordinance 179 of 2025 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor and finance director to execute an agreement with the Jefferson Health Plan to provide medical and prescription drug insurance for municipal employees for calendar year 2026 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 179 of 2025 as an emergency measure.
Thank you, Mr. Wallensack.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Drake. Thank you, Mr. Drake. We have a motion by Mr. Wallensack, seconded by Mr. Drake for ordinance 179 of 2025. Ms. Snyder, will you please take a roll call vote of council?
Mr. Wallensack?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mr. Solander?
Yay.
Thank you, council. Ordinance 179 of 2025 does pass with a vote of 6 yeas and 0 nays. That concludes all the agenda items we have for this evening, so we'll move on to the mayor's report. Mayor Safarian.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Mazur?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just so everybody's aware, we are putting the budget together. Nick and I have the final touches we're putting on it, and we'll be getting with the chairman of the Finance and Budget Committee, Councilman Wallensack, to start scheduling the budget meetings. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mazur. Mr. Purpura?
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Purpura. Mr. Schultz?
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. Mrs. Pauloff?
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Pauloff. Mr. Wallensack?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report from my standing committee. I would like to congratulate those that were elected and those that did run for the council seats. And I'd like to thank Mayor Safarian for his years of service to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallensack. Ms. Sackerman?
No report from my standing committee. Does everybody stay warm, and I hope you disconnected your hoses from your house. That's it. Thank you.
Always good advice. Thank you, Ms. Sackerman. Mr. Slander?
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing from my standing committee, just a couple quick things. One is tomorrow is Veterans Day, so to all our veterans out there here or listening or not, thank you. I just want to say thank you, and so if you see veterans out there, just make sure you let them know, because Without them, we couldn't have an election day. So because of their signing that check, that blank check, we have the right to do so. So thank you for all that came out to vote for that. Also, congratulations to those that were elected, as well as thank you to those who threw your hat in the ring as well or ran for reelection. Needless to say, it's not easy. So either you have a lot of things happen to you, you get drugged through the mud, everybody around you gets drugged through the mud. So it's thank you for doing that to everybody who did run. And in 2 years, we need some more, so we need some people to run. So that, and then also just a reminder also today, it is the 50th anniversary of the Emmett Fitzgerald sinking as well. So just keep that in mind and the thoughts and prayers for the souls that were lost on that day as well. And finally, on a more upbeat note, don't forget we have, we'll start mentioning it now, but we have a blood drive coming up with the police department here on Friday, December 12th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So just, yeah, you can schedule through the app if you have the Red Cross app. So please do so. I know the needs are large. And last I found out, mine went to Indiana, so I don't, kind of weird. Last time before that was St. Charles, so, but people need it, so save a life, give blood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slander.
Oh, I'm sorry, real quick, just one.
Go ahead.
I do want to thank Mayor Sferian for your years of service. It is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slander. Mr. Drake.
No report, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. I have no report from my standing committee, but I'll echo those comments. Thank you to all those who run. Congratulations to all those who won positions into this. My running joke has always been sworn in on a Monday, sworn out on a Tuesday, so the work begins when you hit the chairs. Mayor Sferian, thank you for your service to our community. It's been a long, distinguished career, and we appreciate all your time dedicated to our city. That said, last item I have to do is we need to set a public hearing for 7 p.m. council chambers on Monday, November 24th of 2025. The public hearing will be for application Z826-25 for zoning change from an M1 light industrial district to a C2 general commercial district on the property described as 2285 Star Avenue, also known as 334 Earlwood Avenue, parcel number 44-21527. It's approximately 1.2048 acres, more or less. The zoning change is being initiated by Ronald Reinhardt on behalf of the owner, Toledo Box and Lumber, Inc. So again, that will be on Monday, November 24th at 7 p.m. to start our meeting. With that, we have no more items to consider, so if there's nothing further, I'll seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Pollock.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sellner. Any objections?